So let's now let's add the sound, because sound can definitely improve an animation quite a lot. So we're going to create a new layer like this. This is the new layer. One is going to be called sound, or actually no, let's do it like this. One is voice, so we want to make a voice layer. We want to make a sound layer, and we're going to drag and move that under the voice layer. And we want to make a music layer, or I don't know why I'm typing layer in that, but we're going to make music because we're going to add music to this as well. You know, just to show you the basics of getting sound and animations and stuff. We're going to click on the second one up here, like where it says voice. When the animation starts, like, we're going to create a blank keyframe, which you can right click and go to blank keyframe or F7. I tend to flip-flop between the two because I'm strange that way. So we're going to create one right there. We're going to create one for the music. We're going to do the same thing for the music layer. Insert a blank keyframe. And we're not going to do anything for the sound effects because we're not going to be adding sound effects until later in the animation. Okay, I'm going to have to edit all that out. I just had some problems with the files. Quick little piece of advice. Always make sure to save your sound files into as WAV files if you plan on using them for animations. Do not save them as MP3 files because Flash is very picky on what MP3 files it wants to use, as I was just struggling here for quite a while with it. But that's all been edited out. The basics of this is you want to like minimize Flash. You want to like have like a little sound folder, like a little window with all your sound in it. And when you open Flash back up, and you just you drag and you drop your sound into the library. So that's what you need to do. Always make sure to save them as WAV files. Do not save them as MP3s, or else Flash will give you a very hard time. You're going to have a very bad time, and it's not going to be fun. So now what we need to do is we're going to add our voice file. We're going to add our voice first, our sound. So this is the very basics of adding sound right here. You want to have your keyframe selected. The very beginning of the keyframe you want to insert your sound into. Then you take whatever piece of sound you want. In this case, we're going to use voice.wav right here, and just drag it onto the scene right here. Just wherever you want, just drag it into there. And as you can see right here, our audio file is there. It's right there. And if we go like just to demonstrate, Control Enter, and if we press play,
hello, I'm Stickman. I do stick things.
And there we are. Our sound is now inside the animation. Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool? So we're going to add another piece of sound to the same one. So to the same layer. So right here at the very end of this little orange line right here, that is the sound. We're going to insert a new keyframe. We're going to insert a blank keyframe right here, and we are going to, with the new keyframe selected, select our voice number 2. We're going to drag it into there, and we're going to Control Enter. And if we press play,
hello, I am Stickman. I do stick things. I will now punch myself and fart.
And there we are. So that's the very, like, that's just how you kind of get the sound in there, and that's how it works. So now I'm going to teach you how to like add music and stuff to it, which is basically the same thing. We'll go to music down here. we're going to just take this, the only music file I could find that, because I don't have any music saved in WAVs, unfortunately. I had them all saved in MP3s. It just so happened to be okay with this one particular MP3 and not any of the others. So we're going to take this break. We're going to drop it into there. And so there's our music file. Now if we go to properties, then and we click on wherever the sound is. If you come over here, you're going to see this little tab right here that says sound, and it's going to give you the name of the sound, you know, what it is. You can actually replace it with anything right here if you want. Like if you want to change it later from music to, I guess, a sound effect, or you know, you want to use a different track instead, you can just use this little drop down box and choose whichever one you want right here. But you get this little sound place right here. You have these little effects. I'm not necessarily sure what they do, but I think they're pretty self-explanatory. But we have right here sync. We have a start, we have a stop, and we have a stream. And then we have event. Event means when it rolls over it, it will, I guess, play the sound. Start's the same thing. Stop means it will stop any instance of the sound and stream. I'm not necessarily sure what that does, so don't touch it. So then we have this one right here. We have repeat and loop. Now there are two differences right here. Repeat means that's how many times, like when it rolls over the where the sound is, it's going to repeat it X number of times. As you can see here, we can change this to let's say 15. So we'll replay this track right here 15 times and then stop. But by default it's set to 1, so it will play the track just once and it will stop. But let's say you want it to continuously play that track and never stop playing that track ever in your entire existence, because I don't know. Then you want to go to loop, and that means it will totally bypass, you know, it will just play the sound on for infinity. It will not stop playing that sound. And for the instances of this video, we want to keep this on loop. And now I'm going to teach you exactly how to break this loop. And this is very simple. Let's say at the end of the animation, right here, we want our music to not play. We want this to not loop anymore. So what we need to do is we need to insert a blank keyframe. We need to select, first select the end of your animation, and you insert a blank keyframe. And then you go to library, you drag that same sound effect that you want to stop into your animation with that keyframe selected. Then you go to properties, you click on that keyframe again, then you go to event stop. So that means when it rolls over this, any event of this sound playing will stop. And I will show you exactly how that works. So we press play.
Hello, I am Stickman. I do stick things. I will now punch myself and fart.
As you can see, it doesn't loop on forever. It stops right there. But if we weren't to add that stop thing right there, and we would have it on loop, it would just play on forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. So yeah. And sound effects, same exact thing, except as you can see, there's nothing being on that sound effects until we get to this point. So we insert the keyframe to where we want the sound to be, insert keyframe, and then we take our punch sound effect, throw it in there, and then like right as he's falling, we'll just actually let's put it right there. We're going to insert keyframe, and we'll throw in our where is it? Where's our fart sound effect? Our lovely little fart sound effect. Maybe that's a little bit too late, so we'll just Control Z and we'll just put it right there. Insert blank keyframe, and then just throw in our fart sound effect right there. Yeah, there we go. That's better. Fits better in there. So then those two will play and stuff. So this is what all the completed sound will sound like when it's all in there.
Hello, I am Stickman.
Well, yeah. He did exactly what he was gonna say. He punched himself and fart. There we go.